And we are back here on WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Morning Buzz, Friday edition, and I'm your host, Gabi Lutz, joined by my co-host, Terry Dickerson, and our segment host, Gina Morelli, and our sportscaster, Emily Struble. And we will get to Gina's thing after we get through a couple things because it is the top of the hour, so we do need to do things like... Top, I already said it, girl. It's WMSC Upper Montclair. Or haven't you been listening?
I have been listening.
If you haven't been listening, this is WMSC Upper Montclair. And if you haven't, where you been? Anyways, so since it is the top of this hour, we have a news update.
Potentially. Who's asking?
Me. I'm asking. Hey, hi, hello.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great morning today. In international news, Russian athlete Kamila Valieva is under fire after the 15-year-old tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug during a skating competition in St. Petersburg, Russia on December 25th, 2021. The International Olympic Committee was not informed of Valieva testing positive for the drug, and she was able to compete at the Beijing Olympics, which began on February 4th, 2022. After her historical accomplishment of completing 2 quadruple jumps during her skate at the Olympics, Russia was projected to win gold. However, the medal ceremony has been postponed in light of recent events. Little information has been provided on why Valieva was allowed to compete in Beijing, whether she will be allowed to compete in future events, and how this will affect the medal ceremony. In national news, the Florida State Education Committee passes a bill titled the Parental Rights in Education Bill that will bar school districts from sparking conversations in the classroom regarding sexual orientation or gender identity. The bill also forces student support services to provide parents with all information related to a student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being, unless it's believed that disclosing this information would result in abuse. According to the text of the bill, its purpose is to, quote, reinforce the fundamental right of parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children. Students have spoken out against the bill, with Delaney O'Cox Sr. at Olympia High School in Orlando stating to NBC, quote, the bill is sending a message to LGBTQ youth that they have something to be ashamed about and that their identities are so taboo that they shouldn't even be talked about in the classroom. For New Jersey news, according to state officials, Six Flags Great Adventure was fined for failing to notify the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, the DCA, that its roller coaster El Toro partially derailed on June 29, 2021. Six Flags was fined $5,000 for this misstep. Lisa Ryan, a spokeswoman for the New Jersey DCA, states that New Jersey regulations required Six Flags to notify the agency by phone via hotline of the ride failure. Rules apply to any failure of, quote, critical structural or mechanical component, regardless of the cause. The New Jersey DCA has reported that work has been done on El Toro that is in accordance with the ride's manufacturer's recommendations and are projecting to open the ride to guests in the spring if the annual inspection permits release. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 53 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. And that's all for the newscast today.
Thank you, Terry.
You're so welcome, Gabi.
Let's throw it over to sports. Did you like that little pun I just had, throwing it over to sports?
Touchdown.
Emily, are you going to find one? Lara, we don't that.
That's the fastest
Emily?
she's ever done that.
That was really the fastest she's ever done it. She found that so quick. Emily, do you want to go through sports updates?
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
So in the world of sports, we have the NFL has their big game this weekend. Despite becoming the second team to play in the big game in their home stadium, the Los Angeles Rams will be the away team this weekend. This is because the AFC and NFC alternate which conference is home and away each year. As the visiting team, the Rams will have the coin toss, and Cincinnati will be allowed to choose whether they wear dark or light-colored uniforms for the game. On the ice, the New Jersey Devils had a huge comeback win last night against the Blues, scoring 5 goals in the third to get a 7-4 victory. In other NHL news, the Boston Bruins forward Brad Marchand was suspended again this season on Wednesday night after punching and spearing the goalie for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Through his 13-year
early,
career,
guys.
he has been suspended 28 games. The 6-game suspension is a huge loss for the team, as he is their leading scorer, having 21 goals and 49 points so far on the season. The NBA trade deadline has come and gone. One of the biggest deals to occur happened just hours before the deadline. The Brooklyn Nets traded James Harden and Paul Millsap to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. This trade will shake up the major Eastern Conference contenders. In the Olympics, the United States is currently sitting in 5th place with a total of 10 medals, 4 gold, 5 silver, and 1 bronze. Norway is currently sitting in 1st with 14 medals. In Montclair, the women's basketball team took down Rutgers Newark Wednesday night, 81-39. Nikki Carter dominated the court, putting up 34 points. The same cannot be said for the men's team, though, as they lose in a close 63-66 game against Rutgers Newark. Montclair State alumni Sam Mills has been elected to enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame, class of 2022. During his time in Montclair, he was a 4-time NJAC All-Star who set the record for most tackles in a game at 22 and career tackles at 501. Sam Mills was in the NFL for 12 seasons, where he played for the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. That's all for sports.
Thank you, Emily. Sports. Always sports.
Sports.
It's cool. It's great. It's grand. I don't know much about it, but Emily does, and that's why we have Emily.
And the people who influenced her to do this are held accountable, because she's a very talented skater.
Exactly. I hope this doesn't impact her career that much.
Yeah, exactly. She's so young and she has so much potential, and just to have it messed up over this, something that could have been avoided.
Yeah, and and I think it does fall on those people, because she is only 15. That falls on the people who are in her life in a way, because it's like, how are you pressuring her where she feels the need? Granted, being an Olympian is a big pressure, but what are you doing to support your athlete? To support your athlete, because obviously not enough if she's going this way. But
this story is definitely something to watch out for, just because they're keeping everything pretty on the down low right now, what decisions they're making behind the scenes. So it's definitely something to watch out for. But I just hope, in terms of her career, that she'll be able to bounce back and not have to worry about this with whatever stipulations that will cause later. Because no kid should have to sacrifice their dream for that.
Exactly. I do just think it's awful that and now her career is at so young, is at a thing, and I think that's just so much. There's just so much to it, and it's wow. And I hope the right decisions are made upon that. I know with the Olympics, usually when that comes out, that's it, that's done.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do hope that certain decisions do get made that might maybe not completely kick her out of it, but maybe this year they're no.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the most of her, I guess, punishment, if you could call it that, is either she could get reprimanded, or she has a maximum of 2 years. Could be banned for a maximum of 2 years ban. So it's better than never competing ever again.
Yeah, especially since she's so young.
Yeah,
come back.
And when you're that young, it's
that doesn't mean she can't train. Yeah, and at least she'll have that. If it does come to that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so much. This is crazy, because there's a lot going on with the Olympics. And I feel like there always is, but I feel like
this Olympics especially feels really off. Is that just me?
Okay, I haven't really I haven't really watched it this year.
Yeah, me either.
And I'm kind of upset, because I really like the Winter Olympics. I love figure skating.
Figure skating.
I love the snowboarding, the skiing, and I just haven't watched any of it.
My roommate literally watches what is that? Curling. She's obsessed with curling.
The game of millimeters.
Yeah. Shout out to Caitlin Ward. She's literally, I'm always popping into her room. She's like, I'm watching curling. And I'm like, oh my God.
But that's so funny, because curling is so funny. I'll never understand curling, but it's so fun.
I mean, honestly, they can mop a floor quicker than I can. So
me too. So I mean, wow. Yeah.
Did you guys hear that they're using fake snow this year?
They're using fake snow this year?
What?
No, so they that's having impact on the players, because there's more air in the snow.
Right.
So it's more slippery, it's more ice. So it's impacting them while skiing and snowboarding.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it feels off. The fake snow.
Did they ever find out why they were doing that?
Oh, they just couldn't get it.
They didn't
No, like
have
they
enough
they
snow.
couldn't get enough snow. Like actually.
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
So they had
Wow.
to make a lot of snow, and the amount of energy that's being used to make this snow is insane.
Yeah.
Climate
Wow.
change, everyone.
Climate
It finds its way
change.
into everything.
Whoa. Gina, is there anything else for what's popping with Gina today? Or is that all?
We have one more thing. So I wanted to go over since it's gonna be Valentine's Day on Monday. I'm not a big Valentine's Day person just because I'm single on
Love
Valentine's Day.
Day.
Mood.
But I thought we would do like a little trivia. So I ask you, I know you guys can see the answers, but if I ask you guys the questions, you can guess.
Okay,
which one.
yeah. Ask me the questions. I won't even look.
So statistically, a woman who purchases flowers on Valentine's Day is most likely buying them for A, herself, B, her significant other, C, her mother, D, her child.
Pick me.
Go ahead.
As a single woman on Valentine's Day, I'm buying them for myself.
Yes. That is
I'll
the
buy you
correct
flowers,
answer.
Gabby.
Terry, you're gonna buy me flowers. Oh,
Aw.
hearts. You're watching romance just sprout.
Okay, next question. What does the O stand for in XOXO?
Hug.
Me. Oh my
Oh, I'm
god.
sorry.
You didn't even raise your
Wow.
I'm a
hand.
Oh my
cheater.
gosh.
Gabby's the kid I would hate in class.
Yo. No,
Raise your
because I used
hand.
to be the kid who would raise my hand and everybody else would call out the answers. So I just got over
Stop.
it and now I call out the
So
answers.
now it's just trauma response.
Yeah, it's trauma. A lot of trauma responses.
Trauma responses.
You guys don't know, but I had some trauma responses off air.
Okay. Who receives the most Valentine's Day cards? A, children, B, teachers, C, mothers, D, wives.
I got it.
Go
Let
ahead.
Emily do it.
Yes.
Teachers.
Yes. You'd be
That's-
surprised.
I loved going to school with a bunch of Valentine's days, like for the
Oh, yeah.
holidays.
Oh my god,
Oh
and
my
hand
god.
them out.
That candy I
Always.
would come out with. Like, ugh,
Okay.
those days, good days.
Yeah.
The amount of
Exactly.
lollipops you would get.
Oh my
And we would
God,
like make the
lollipops with chocolate.
boxes.
Oh my god,
The
yes,
little
and people would
boxes.
put like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Valentine in your
the little mailboxes.
boxes.
They were so
Oh,
cute.
That's so cute.
So
I'm
cute.
sad. Okay.
God,
How
we're old.
many online dating? Oh, sorry.
It's like, God, we're old.
How many online dating services are there in the US?
Too many.
A.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like okay. B 2,500. C 1,500. D 750.
Ain't no
Pick
way it's that
me.
high.
Literally, I was like, what?
Pick Terry.
2,500.
Yeah,
How is there that many?
I don't
Uh,
understand.
I-
I'm
have,
so shook right now.
You have farmers only. You have
Farmers
Christian
only.
I know, but I
mingle.
thought like 250 was more like valid, but I guess that's a lot.
2,500.
And I'm still single.
And I'm still single.
All these dating apps, and I'm still single.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we got one more
Okay,
question.
One more question. What percentage of US adults are single? A 43%, B 72%, C 50%, D 20%.
I wonder.
I
Ooh,
wonder.
43. 43.
Wrongo.
No way.
It's
Pick me.
Yeah, go ahead.
50.
Yes.
Is it really?
Ayo.
Yeah, it's 50%.
It's
That's actually
half
crazy.
of the adult.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
That's crazy. And then what's the other statistic? Like 50% of marriages get into divorce or something like that.
Wow, we're just batting
Yeah. Oh my
1,000.
gosh.
I mean,
I don't know if it's
yo.
50, but like it's pretty high.
Half of us are single, but there's so many dating sites. This
There's
just
so many
doesn't add
dating
up.
sites.
It
It's
doesn't
just like,
add
Americans
what?
up.
aren't very
Where are all
good
the
at
dating sites?
relationships.
Was it dating sites question? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
was
a
like,
lot, that's what we're
how
saying.
many?
That's
Oh my
so
gosh.
many. Ugh. Well, that was it for your What's Poppin' with Gina today?
Yes,
Thank you,
that's it.
Gina.
Oh,
Thank you.
so sad. It's over. I'm so sad. We wait all that time and now it's already over. So we're gonna get some stories. We're gonna get into some stories.
Yeah.
So these are like quirky, not like the other girl stories, guys. So they're a little more on the fun side. We haven't really done much of these on the Friday edition recently because we've been doing Am I in the Wrong? But today we're gonna do some quirky, like not like the other girl stories. So I hope you're prepared. For our first story, Adolf Hitler named to somebody's dream dinner? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Crazy. Well, it has been a stellar show so far. So naturally, the next thing we should talk about is Hitler confusion. Yet, yes, somehow Hitler has made his way into the news cycle as an NFL player was asked who he would invite to his dream dinner on good old Twitter. Jonathan Allen would name 3 people to this bizarre dinner. First, his grandma. Very cute and fun and fresh. Then, Michael Jackson. Okay, And then Hitler. Why? Could not tell you. Naturally, people all understood the first two options, but the internet was shocked, angry, and flat out confused that Allen would even think of putting Hitler on his list. So let's hear him out. Quote, he is a military genius and I love military tactics, but honestly, I would want to pick his brain as to why he did what he did. I'm also assuming that the people I've chosen have to answer all my questions honestly. End quote. It comes to no surprise that the internet wasn't really amused by his answers, but he did issue an apology saying it was dumb. So, who would be at your dream dinner? Alive, dead, preferably without Hitler making the list.
That honestly, that's not the first time I've heard someone say that. Like the Hitler thing.
Really?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like people say that. Him and Michael Jackson, I've heard a lot.
Well,
Because people
Michael
are just-
Jackson, it's obvious. And you know what? I can understand wanting to pick his brain, but he's like, I love his military tactics. I'm sorry, what?
No.
His military tactics were not very
Yeah.
good, in my opinion.
That one- Red flag.
Red flags.
flags.
Red flags.
Trying to get answers to why he did what he did is like such a common answer. And
Yeah.
who knows if he would actually answer honestly.
He'd have to.
He'd have to.
He'd have to.
So
I'd force him to.
that would Gabby would force him to.
You better answer honestly. I
I'm a
swear.
wallop ya. I'm a wallop ya.
I'm a wallop, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's weird. Like, the way he said the first part, he's a military genius. I love military tactics. I was like, oh,
I'm like, there are other military people that you could have.
they're just like at the dinner
Invited.
table discussing military tactics with your grandma
Oh,
across.
shit.
Stop.
the
Yeah,
table.
Michael
like
Jackson going.
grandma.
Oh my gosh, like
That's a really odd group as well.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can you
would
pass
not
the
mix.
gravy? Oh, by the way, Hitler. Like what?
Yeah.
why?
Hey
So, like-
Hitler, can you pass the gravy?
oh my
I don't know if
gosh.
I'm allowed to say that. It was a joke.
This is so bad.
This is so weird. Okay, but seriously, so who would be at your dream dinners? Alive or dead? Not Hitler.
Michelle Obama.
Okay,
Ooh.
Queen.
Okay.
Snaps.
Other people throw stuff out. I have to think.
I would do Zac Efron.
Fire.
Alive.
Eh.
I'm a big Dancing with the Stars fan, so I love Derek Huff. I don't know if you know him. He's
Oh
a
my
dancer,
gosh, he is
professional
such a
dancer.
cool
Yes.
person.
Yes, I would definitely have him.
I'm
I
like
don't think of
blanking
another
on names of
person.
literally every person.
Cameron Boyce, may he rest his soul.
Oh,
I know,
I would
touchy
have him on
subject,
mine, too.
right?
No,
That-
that would
yeah.
be so.
I know. Like, if his soul is listening right now, I'm literally in love. Like, I was so in love
You're
with
like
him.
Cameron
Aw.
Boyce. I am in love with you.
You can hear me from beyond.
He was, oh,
But definitely, I
sweetest
would.
little
He seemed like
bean.
such a genuine person.
yeah, and you know
Yeah.
what? Sky Jackson's always like posting on her Twitters.
Yeah,
like
Sky.
you know, miss you, Cam. And I'm like, oh,
China and
no.
McLean as well. They all were so
I
close.
know,
It's
and
really
I'm just
awful
like,
what happened.
screaming and crying the entire time.
Yeah, that was a
Okay,
hard day.
that was.
And then
hard.
after that, I went to go see Toy Story 4,
yeah,
and I was like crying in the theater, both at the movie and
Dude.
at the current
Oh,
situation.
I was on a cruise when I found out, and
Oh my
I was,
God.
and we, you know, we don't really have like Wi-Fi on the cruise because you have to pay like mad money for that.
Right.
We finally got to a port, and I was like on the ship, and I'm like, and I like look at my phone, and I was like, and I was with my best friend, and I was like, Kayla, Cameron Boyce died. She goes, no way, and I was like, dude, I'm not kidding.
I thought it was so
Oh my
fake.
I was
gosh.
speechless. I was genuinely speechless.
Ugh, it's such a shame.
It was a shame. Okay, on a lighter.
On a lighter note, peace and love.
who else?
Tom
Ooh.
Holland.
Tom
Tom
Holland for me, Tom
Holland.
Holland.
Oh, for me, it'll be Zendaya.
Zendaya.
If we
Oh,
can
yeah.
have them both there, I
If
want
we
to see
have
their
them both-
chemistry. Number
oh,
one.
yeah.
Do we have a limited number of
I heard they're
guests
getting a-
at this?
Yeah, can we
dinner?
have a limited number?
I heard they're getting a house together.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Does that mean that they're gonna
In-
start a family
In London.
In London, yeah, Zendaya's leaving, and I'm like, holy
Zendaya, no
smokes.
queen. You have to stay.
you have to stay. We need you to stay.
Tom
wanted
has
to
a
go back and
great.
choose
Tom has a
family.
great American
Girl.
accent. He can stay.
Tom Holland can
He
do
wanted
that.
to go hang out with his family again, though, because of all of his filming. He hasn't seen his family in like
Right.
a couple of
Oh.
years.
He's too busy
much.
playing an American.
He's
No,
playing an
literally.
American.
He always plays an American.
An American.
Wow. Okay. I think mine would be. Okay. I think I want Jojo Siwa.
I knew you were gonna say
Are
that.
we
Why did I
shocked?
know? I wanted to say it just to mess with you.
Young Gravy.
Oh my god.
Zendaya and Tom together. They count as
They-
one.
they
They
count
count
as
as one.
first.
Yeah, they're half
Nobody
each
said I
other.
had a limit. So
No, there's no limit.
and then Cameron Boyce, obviously, which I wouldn't have thought of until you said it, but that's a very good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your dream dinner?
Yeah, my dream dinner. Who's your dream dinner, Laura?
God, Reese Witherspoon.
Did you say
Oh,
God?
I thought you
I
said God. I thought
God.
you actually meant God.
Oh wow.
That's a good one. Get some
Yeah.
answers.
He,
Yeah.
he would either be there or he would not be there.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Save him a
You know
seat
what's
just
funny?
in
When
case.
I said God, I meant it as an expression, not a
I know,
person.
I know.
But
It's too late. You've already
no,
said it. You said Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's a really good one.
AOC.
AOC.
Oh,
okay.
period. She
Um,
seems like a fun
All right.
person to like hang
She
out with.
does. Yeah.
Wait, can they be dead or alive?
Yeah. Dead End Life.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
How many do I get?
Gasp.
Heath Ledger.
Oh my gosh.
Boom.
Yeah.
We're getting married.
Fair.
I know he's not alive. But if he were and we were at this dinner, it would be our wedding dinner.
It was our
Actually, no.
wedding
Actually, no. It would be
day.
Ian
We were
Gravy.
getting married.
We
But
made
Young
it
Gravy
through most of
would
the
be
show
my-
without quoting
Yes.
Encanto.
We did. We
Very
almost made
close.
it. You ruined it. You soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it. Yeah.
Wait, how many did I do? I have God.
You had like 3 or
God,
4.
Reese Witherspoon, John Hughes, and probably Will Ferrell.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
a good one. Adam Sandler. Boom.
Ooh,
He'd just make it comical.
he would.
Emily, anybody else? Gina, anybody else? Terry, anybody else?
My
don't
table's
know.
full.
Our table's got
Your
extra
table is
chairs.
small.
My table, no more seats.
No more seats. Anybody? No? No?
I don't
Okay,
know.
fine. So be it. I think mine's the best. No, I'm kidding.